After we had gotten engaged, we had decided to go on vacation. Over a couple of days, I knew something wasn't right. It went from, me kind of walking around, not really having any issue, thinking I can make it through this, I'll be fine, to the next day having to go to the hospital, getting admitted. And as soon as I got into the room there to be admitted, it went from, I didn't even want to get up. I couldn't sit up. I didn't want to sit up. I didn't want to get up, and just got progressively worse, where I couldn't breathe.
Carlos was admitted with COVID-19. Not only were his lungs failing to the point where he couldn't oxygenate his blood and couldn't remove the CO2, but he also had these big pneumothoraces, big tears in his lungs that caused air to leak out outside of his lungs and kind of throughout his chest. All of that air can compress on the blood vessels in the chest, and that can cause your heart to stop, and that can cause a patient to die almost immediately, if not recognized and intervened upon quickly.
When I was in a higher treatment ICU is when my oxygen was at its max. My lungs were so damaged that they weren't processing the oxygen that was needed for my body.
This is one of those cases when you have a case like Carlos's, where you're failing in your ability to keep his oxygen and his vital signs where they need to. So that's why we progressed very rapidly to being able to support him with ECMO. ECMO, or extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, is a type of life support that is used for patients in severe cardiac or respiratory failure. So usually these are patients who all other forms of life support have been exhausted.
You could tell that it was starting to at least give him some relief in the healing process. When I walked in there, the first thing he wants to do is smile at me, and he can't even smile. But you can tell that he's trying to smile. And I'm like, it's okay. You don't need to. It's okay. But it was just, again, the nature of his, personality and character.
I could move my fingers.
He could have moved his fingers.
Yeah. I felt myself getting better slowly. And now I know it was a lifesaver. I do. I know it saved my life. One day, my nurse comes in and he tells me, hey, Carlos, your wife told me your story and how y'all were supposed to get married on the day you got into the hospital. And he's like, I have an idea. He's like, why don't we get married? Why don't you get married here? I'm on ECMO. I can barely move or speak. And I'm like, oh, you need to ask Grace, because it's up to her. It's her day.
I'm like, well, yeah, if he's okay, I would love to, because one of the things that I tell Carlos even now, it's like, I just wanted to have the honor of saying that I was Mrs. Muniz.
It just shows how important treating every single patient that we have like a person first. That's essential for anyone to really heal.
Right after the wedding, I started to feel a lot better. And I just had that sense of purpose, knowing that she is there for me by my side as my fiance and now as my wife. And I knew I had to just be there for her, no matter what, as I wasn't going to give up. I look forward to so many more years and growing old together with her. I love her.
Me too.